It's how we do it in Puerto Rico. Hello everyone, Ryan here, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the new Flotation Toy Warning album titled The Machine That Made Us. Flotation Toy Warning are probably a band you've never heard of, but they actually had a fantastic release 13 years ago, which I would absolutely recommend. Bluffer's Guide to the Flight Desk is the title of that album. It's this indie pop, neo-psychedelic, chamber pop record that I think is really worth your time. It's an hour long, so it might be long-winded for some people that don't like their music long, but it goes in all these different directions that I think is really cool, and I think it's a very underrated album. For the really super indie heads out there that love like Neutral Milk Hotel or Guided by Voices, bands like those that really have a very distinct sound and a weird sensibility about them that's a bit strange, anything like that, you would definitely be into Flotation Toy Warning. And I've got to thank this site Rate Your Music for discovering this band, because it was on that site that I found them on their best of 2004 list that they've got. And recently it became, of my attention that they actually came back 13 years later and followed up an album, which is quite strange because it was only earlier in this year that I discovered their first album in the first place. And 13 years later, like a lot of those really strange comeback albums, this is a one that completely knocks it out of the park. They've done it again on this album. I think this is equally as good as that debut, and I think it's probably going to come down to being a close favorite of the year for me, because it's got that kind of unique sound that I don't think I'm going to find in any other album in 2017. It's really subtle and low key, but the vocals at points really just come through and shine and just give you this kind of warm feeling that I don't think I'm gonna hear in anything else these days. A lot of music, it doesn't seem to sound like this, and that's one of the reasons why I feel like this is a great album that's worth recommending. There are a couple of tracks on here that do remind me of the band Spiritualized as well, the way their songs kind of flow in this really nice psychedelic sound, and the way they include all these arrangements in their music, a bit like the band Elbow, I would say, as well at points. They do it in such a great way that I can't not compliment on them on everything they do. Even that closing track, which is 12 minutes long, it does get a little repetitive at points and I'm bored with by the end of the song, but at the same time I'm addicted to it as well, because there's this vocal humming sound that goes and that really is just grinds my ears and gets stuck in my head in a really cool way. I don't think I was expecting it, especially since it's pretty much the whole song, but it works really well. And this band might be the best at doing those background harmonies, those vocal sounds, because on the first track you get that as well, Controlling the Sea, quite a catchy track as well, with the vocals in the background that go oh. It's quite blissful, but yeah, it's just really nice to listen to. This isn't exactly going to go down as one of my most detailed reviews, because I do find a lot of this music hard to talk about because it's just quite hard to describe. I mean, in 2017 there isn't anyone out there that sounds like this, and it makes me happy that these guys made that follow-up album. I mean, 13 years later is a pretty long time for those people to wait, I mean, this band doesn't have a particularly big fan base, to be quite honest. I'm happy to see that there are people online that are hyping this album up and do support this band, but really they're not relatively known at all. But this is just such a smooth sounding album. I mean, it just flows so nicely on the ears. It is such a dreamy listen, and I can guarantee that this will be the most unique album you'll hear all year if you give it a chance. I mean, it's probably not going to be something everyone loves, but I can't recommend this enough. For me, this is a B+, going to be one of my favourites of the year. A very good band that deserves more attention and is worth your time. If you did like this review though, make sure you subscribe for more music reviews, and have a good day.